कहाँ प्रश्न है कैसे ठीक है अच्छा आता दूसरा क्या प्रश्न है
different gurus have different effects on different chakras. They have done it in different effects on different chakras, different gurus. How do they do it? And in spite of so many linear things that happen, then what should be done?
You see, what gurus do is they use different chakras for introducing into the sympathetic nervous system some entities which they have controlled, you see. They do not control many entities as such, but what happens? For example, now I would say during war, many people died just like that, you see, killed and this and that. In those countries, those souls, you see, they were never never had a human life, and they were treated just like animals, and they were very much tortured. So they had that feeling in their minds that we should also torture these people. So when they come, they die, you see, they do not die really, and they do not get into the Pretloka. They stay in the atmosphere. And that's why wars are very bad things, because wars create such human beings much more with accidents and people who are very depraved in life, very dissatisfied, who are doing all kinds of depraved actions and secretive things and all kinds of horrid things. You see, all such people, all of them, when they die, they do not really go to Pretaloka, because they don't think of their salvation, but they are just thinking of their lust, greed, or sort of we can say possessions, those who are grabbing things, thieves, and all sorts of people. We can call evil people and satanic people. When they die, they find, they become much more subtler, and they can be better off if they act in a subtle body. So they use their subtle body for acting into people, and such people are easily available. So these gurus, what they do, that they themselves are evil geniuses, and they have a way of capturing those people, and they use them, and they introduce you through your different chakras. For example, Ravana had the capacity to speak, and in his speech he used to introduce Rakshasas into the human beings in Ceylon, otherwise imagine in Lanka. People should never fight Rama, because at that time the sensitivity of people was so great that they knew that Rama was an incarnation. They were not gross as today they are, that one has to tell that, oh, here I am the incarnation. See, that time it was not Kali Yuga, so they knew he was an incarnation. And so many of them, I mean, some of them did not, but quite a lot of them knew, and despite that, nobody could oppose it, because their mind was captured by these entities put by Ravana, and they fought. So it was so, even at the time of Krishna, people knew who he was, at least they had quite an idea, even Kauravas knew about it. But this Kali Yuga is a wretched thing, nobody sees anything clearly. But those times were not like that. People knew who was an incarnation, and they understood it. And that time also, these people had to use some sort of a way of putting them off, and they used this method of enticement. And when they used this method of enticement, in that use, they learned also subtler ways, which they are using in the Kali Yuga very well. They are actually Rakshasas, and they know these methods, how to entice people. There are so many ways of doing it. And when you bend your head before them, that is the best time when they can put it into your ego, and they can finish you off once for all. So that's how they do it, and you are no more yourself. First of all, they act on your heart. You become a nervous person, your hands start shaking, your feet start shaking. They act on your heart chakra. You lose the power of Raksha, which is the basic point of the heart chakra. वो जो आपके इसमें आया है वो देखेगा ये लोग. And then once you start losing the grip over your nerves, you find that as if somebody is doing for you, and if you take somebody's name, you start jumping, and you don't know anything. Is an experience. You see, there are so many things that do like that. 1001. But human beings as a whole in the Kali Yuga, instead of improving, has gone down absolutely in his conception of divinity and in everything. I mean, he's a hopeless case otherwise, but by God's grace, Sahaja Yoga may save him. The way it is, I mean, he's very, very blunt, cannot feel, he's very insensitive, and he carries on all kinds of his malpractices, thinking that he's a rare saint ever born. You see, that's another great quality of Kali Yuga. This is the problem. They have no conscience left now. to tell them that this is wrong or that is wrong. They've killed. Everywhere it is so. तुम्ही शाळेची मुलं आहात का? अच्छा. अशा हात करून बसा आमच्याकडे बघू. हां. हा. आता दुसरे प्रश्न आपण विषय हां. हां.
Or alternatively, music can they rouse the kundalini.
No. You see, all these 5 elements are very important in our body, and they are the body of the chakras also, as I have told you. So what happens that when you sing the music, the vibrations can go through the musical sound and can excite certain chakras. You see, for example, for the Hridaya chakra it is very good, or also for the Vishuddhi chakra it is very good. Not for all the chakras, but certain chakras it does. But supposing you say a mantra plus the sound, the beautiful music and a realized soul, then it is very effective. See? For example, Ganesha, you can excite him with a beautiful shloka. If you are a realized soul and if your Ganesha is correct, you can excite the Ganesha of another person very easily. I mean, such a person can do it. So music, sound, all these things have an effect, and we are now using that method very extensively. That supposing now we go in a mass meditation and many people are there and some chakra is caught, say Vishuddhi is caught, I can correct the Vishuddhi by just putting my finger on this like this, because this has the sound. This is the chakras. There is a micro sound which is carrying the vibrations, you see. Actually, the part of the vibrations is the micro sound also, micro light, micro sound, and you can say all the 5 elements are micro there. So when I put my finger, the micro sound can carry the rest of them, and the person can be corrected. We can do it, especially Vishuddhi. Very easy to correct Vishuddhi on that. You can correct most of the things, but certain things are very easily corrected. Vishuddhi, which is responsible for the sound, made from the sound element. As we have seen that water element is very good for treating people for the lower chakras, because up to the heart chakra, because the water and salt can help you for the Navi chakra, and because salt is earth element, and what you call it is the essence of the ocean, and essence of the ocean is in the Bhavasagara. So we can use salt water for clearing the lower chakras. We can use light for the eyes, because this is made out of the prakash, the light element, like that. You see, different things can be done with these different elements. If you use them, you can make all the dirt or all the obstructions which are collected in your particular chakra by putting them back into the same element and cleansing them out, so the element takes it away. For Mother Earth also, she has so many elements in her that she can take away so many of your problems which are troubling you in your being because of some imbalance of the Mother Earth element. You see, this is all due to the imbalance of these elements in you accumulated more beyond than what you wanted. That's why I say the extreme of it. The Tattva is expressed through Sri Ganesh, and Sri Ganesh is the form of a, you can say, the purified principle of the earth element, and it's the same. I mean, you can say in a flute you have 2 notes. The first and the last are the same. In the same way, in a human being, the 7 notes, the first one is a Ganesha and the last one is also a Ganesha. So these 7 notes are the same, and these 7 notes make the earth element, and I mean are not completely earth element, but started with earth element, purified, where it loses its earth element problems completely. is Parabrahma. I mean, it becomes all Brahma. Because earth element is, outside is the earth element, but inside is Dhara, is Dharana. Is the power to sustain. Is the power to sustain. And that power is the purest form of earth principle. So, you see, that you become later on. Gradually the whole earth element drops down and you become that. So, it is the Dharana Shakti, as they call it, the power of sustainer, is the Ganesha. So, like that in every chakra, you have a very subtle and subtle-most point, and that subtle-most point is the note that the divine is playing at that point, because every note, it has a different frequency, a different intonation, you can call, a different sound, which helps in the melody of this universe. So like that we have 7 chakras and the 7 notes, and there are different notes, but these notes then create permutations and combinations, and that is how a chakra gets into a swara, and then it becomes a, you can say, a sound, and from sound it becomes a word, and from word it becomes a language, and like that it goes on, and the same subtle form starts becoming something else. For example, if I have love for my children, how I express it? I make a house for them, I make a place to live for them, I cook food for them, I make a bed for them. You see, is a gross expression of that subtle love I have. In the same way, whatever is subtle within us is expressed outside with the help of the elements that are outside, to express the subtle through our gross behavior or gross material things also we do. So it's the same subtle which is expressing outside, but then we become so gross later on that we forget the inner part of it. You see, for a mother may create something, all these things, and then she'll become so possessive of her children. She'll think, I've done so much for my children, that she wouldn't even think for why she has made it. She forgets the love part of it, and she becomes nothing but the gross thing. She'll start scolding the children for even breaking for a small thing here and there. You see, she does this for love, and then she forgets it. That's what is an extreme behavior. Extreme behavior means from the subtle, you get to the gross and the gross and the grosser. Once you become grosser, you are dead. आता काय प्रश्न?
समोर मनुष्य नवीन आला जागृती द्यायला,
हा,
त्याला प्रथम दर्शनी समजा बाधा हे कसं वाटतंय काही लोकांना दिसती बाधा आम्ही जागृती द्यायला
हा, ज्यांना बाधा दिसते, those who can see badhas are on the emotional side. They can see the badhas. They are, you see, though there also you can see 2 types of people. Those who are already themselves in badha, they can see badhas very clearly. They can see the dead persons. Those who are already badha can see that another person has got a badha, because they are in the collective subconscious themselves, so they can see. And a person, say, can see the one who is supposing who is a drunkard. He can see. A person who is drunk can see a badha in another person, because he is in the subconscious state, he might say. But some people can achieve a state in an emotional way that they can see a badha clearly, if they are realized also, emotional state people. So those bhakti people can see a badha there. But even the supraconscious people can see a light coming before them. They can see somebody standing before them like a light, and they'll say that there's a light coming. They might get fragrance, or things like that can happen. They can. They are called as tanmatras. Is the causal principle of all the elements. Causal tanmatras means for earth the causal principle is fragrance. So supposing somebody has done lot of search in the field of, say, earth element, so such a person can get lot of fragrance. That. It is a variety everywhere created because of their different searches and because of their different seeking. तर तुम्ही काय म्हणाला, बाधा कशी ओळखायची?
बाधा कशी वाटायची?
नाही, ज्यांना दिसते त्यांना दिसते, ज्यांना नाही दिसते त्यांनी वरी नाही करायची. You see, Badha, if somebody has a Badha or not, you can, if he has Agya and a heart, it's definitely a Badha. And you just ask the person to put the hands before the photograph, he'll start shaking. Normally he shakes. Huh? काय असतं? भूत बाधा असते. See, I don't know how you should make it out, but it's very easy. You can make out. They cannot put their eyes towards my photographs. If you ask them to close their eyes, their eyes will start flickering. Hands will start shaking. Eyes will always flicker. Slightest Badha it will show on the eyelid. Slightest. You see, Badha can be of many types. Some people just have a, for the time being. Some people have a permanently settled. Some have backfills, you see. So, you just can't say which is. जाऊ द्या, सोडा, कसलं काय, सगळ्यांना एकाच्यात काढून टाकायचं. सगळं ते नको जास्त करायला. सहजयोगाने बाधेला जास्त लक्ष द्यायचं नाही, तेव्हा मान्यता मानायची नाही. कारण असेच होणार तुमच्याकडे अधिक चिकटणार तेच असलं की त्यांना म्हणा फोटोवर बसा, रगड रगड बसा म्हणा फोटो, माताजींना बघू द्यात. यू जस्ट डोंट वरी अबाउट दिस थिंग. हां, तुमचं क्युअरिंग वगैरे ठीक आहे. बाधेला जो मनुष्य म्हणजे you see, the thing is, people think that there's only one type of Badha is emotional Badha. There can be both types. A person who is very egoistic also is dominated by somebody else. Abnormal, any abnormal behavior, you see, who is not a normal person, can come from anyone. हां, काय तुमचं काय म्हणणं आहे? कोणत्या वर्गात आहात तुम्ही लोक? हां, बघू बरं, या इकडे या. लेटस गिव्ह देम शिव आणि काय फरक नाही आहे. शिव आणि शक्ती एकच गोष्ट आहे. आता असं झालं, सन आणि सनलाईटचा काय फरक आहे? माणसाला ती अक्कल असते फरक करण्याची. आपल्याला माणसाला ते दुसरं समजत नाही, देवाला हे समजत नाही. There is no difference between a light, sunlight and sun, moonlight and moon. So there is no difference at all. It is only the human beings who think there are two stuff.
That differentiation
Huh?
when we come into Dvaita,
Then only we start thinking. It is in Advaita. It is one and the same thing, you see. For example, now this bangle is beautifying my hand. So what is the difference between this bangle and the beautification? Is the quality of the person. It's the quality. It's the we can say the vyakta and avyakta, we can call it. Huh? Not essence also. Essence means you will take out the rest of it and you say this is all useless. It's not that. It's in every, it is all there. It's one. What is the essence of sunlight and sun? Sun has no meaning without sunlight. Sunlight has no meaning without sun. It is not essence. It is everything that. You can say water and ice.
existence and essence. I mean, I just refer to two categories that philosophers develop. No, it's not that.
No, it's both have existence, both have essence. There is no difference at all. You see, it is human beings cannot conceive it. That's the trouble with human mind, because it is in a Dvaita. Human beings cannot see. You see, they think of two things always.
It's not a person.
You see, it is perception is not possible for you to perceive it, but you can understand it by analogy. You see, many things human beings cannot just perceive, just cannot, because you have a limited brain, you have a limited awareness.